you ever wondered if scientists are close to bringing back extinct animals? Or maybe some animal has already come back from extinction? It is a very sad thing to realize that a species is no more, that the last member of its kind has now gone. Once a species has become extinct, there is no bringing it back. However, sometimes, just sometimes, they can surprise us. These are not miracles, as the species that fall into this category tend to share one key attribute: elusiveness. These animals are either vanishingly rare or simply very hard to find. Restricted ranges and remote habitats often contribute to this. The first in our selection is Victorian grassland earless dragon. This Australian lizard was unseen by scientists for more than 50 years. Once common in the state of Victoria, the species became critically endangered in the 1960s due to extensive habitat destruction, with the last confirmed sighting before now happening in 1969. Nevertheless, hope remained for its survival due to various unconfirmed sightings, and in the end, these hopes were borne out, with an ecological survey rediscovering the first individual just last year. Subsequent fieldwork has resulted in the collection of 16 individuals who are now in a breeding program at Melbourne Zoo. Next on our list is the coelacanth, and it has been lost for millennia. These ancient fish, known from fossils since the 19th century, were thought to have become extinct at the end of the Cretaceous period, some 66 million years ago. However, to everyone's surprise, in 1938, off the coast of South Africa, a local fisherman raised a live specimen from the depths. The fisherman himself was unaware of the great significance of his catch, but fortunately, museum employee Marjorie Courtney Latimer casually examined the fish and realized that she had something special in front of her. This accidental discovery is now considered one of the most important zoological finds of the 20th century. Shaken peccary. Like the coelacanth, for a long time this pig-like ungulate was known from fossil records alone. Again, it was thought to be long extinct, existing as paleontological evidence only, and was declared as such. In 1971, however, a team of biologists decided to follow up on rumored sightings by locals and discovered the species living in the hot and dry Chaco region of Argentina. Wallace's giant bee, you would think it would be hard to lose the world's largest bee, but think again. Wallace's giant bee, after its first collector, Alfred Russel Wallace, is a solitary bee native to Indonesia. Apophobes beware. This Goliath of an insect is 4 times larger than the average honeybee, with a length of as much as 4 centimeters and a wingspan of up to 2 5/10 inches. Until 2019, this bee had not been seen alive for 38 years, and scientists weren't sure it still existed. Much to entomologists' delight, a single female specimen was found nesting inside a termite nest. This species is still very much considered vulnerable to extinction, however, in part due to the palm oil plantations overtaking their habitat. Thylacine A dog-like marsupial, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. The last captive thylacine died in an Australian zoo in 1936, and the species is thought to have died out completely sometime in the 1960s. Since then, there have been many unconfirmed sightings, considered by some to be fairly dubious in nature. The thylacine has captured the imagination of the cryptozoology community, a subculture of people who look for and discuss creatures thought to be legendary or extinct, including the Loch Ness Monster, suggested by some proponents to be an extinct plesiosaur rather than a fictional monster. The existence of Lazarus species do perhaps make some of these theories seem a little less wacky. Unfortunately, however, and despite enthusiasts clinging to hope for the thylacine, Scientists have declared that there is a less than a 1% chance of it still existing somewhere. The thylacine could be brought back from extinction by 2028, according to a team of scientists who are working to save the lost species. The team has been collecting DNA from old thylacine skins and teeth, as well as pups that were preserved in ethanol. Bringing back the thylacine would likely cost more than $10 million and would be the largest amount of money ever spent on studying the development of a marsupial. Is bringing back extinct animal species really worth it? That's because when an animal goes extinct, its absence has a ripple effect on all the flora and fauna involved in that animal's food web. Because of this, reintroducing previously extinct species back into their old ecosystems could help rebalance and restore the environment. By the way, scientists are already making progress to bring a certain dead bird back to life, and it's a dodo. The dodo was wiped out of its native ecosystem, Mauritius, as a direct result of human settlement and competition in 1662. The dodo could return home for the first time in more than 300 years after scientists made incredible progress in trying to bring it back from the dead. Researchers have been able to sequence the full genome of the famously extinct species for the first time. The US-based biotechnology and genetic engineering company Colossal Biosciences has teamed up with the Mauritian Wildlife Foundation to find a suitable location for the large flightless birds. Since launching in September 2021, Colossal, which is also pursuing the de-extinction of the woolly mammoth and Tasmanian tiger, has raised $225 million in total funding. They are now working on the development of genetically modified chickens to act as the surrogates for the newly created dodos. There is still no timeline for when this first embryo will be created, but the scientists are excited at the prospect of their new discovery. The team hope that their scientific advancements will not only help them bring back the dodo, but will aid in the conservation of many other bird species. The return of dead animals is not just a scientific fantasy, but a serious project that requires a balanced approach and careful analysis of all possible risks and consequences. By preserving nature and animals today, we are protecting the future of our planet.